Founder of his agency, he launched a couple years ago after his poker career. Now up to about 14 customers, paying on average $2K per month on average 3-month retainers. Last month did 15 grand in revenue. Last year, their total revenue was about 70 grand. His goal is to build this to about 100 grand per month by December of this year. If not, he'll have to make some of those tough changes. They're currently at 7 people based out there in San Diego.
This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number 1 or number 2 in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per talk.
5 and 6 million.
He is hell-bent on global domination. We just broke our 100,000 unit sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka.
This is episode 747. Coming up tomorrow morning, Tomer Levy joins us. He breaks down how to use an open source project as lead generation ethically for his now $3 million annual recurring company business. It's grown very fast, all on the back of an open source project. Hello, everyone. My guest today is Derric Haney. He's the CEO of Vulpine Interactive, a social media marketing agency that helps build contagious brands and passionate fans. I met him several weeks ago in LA. We were at Sean Ellis's growth hacking event, and he's got an interesting story that goes from poker to social media. Additionally, he's regularly seen speaking and blogging about growth and digital marketing in San Diego, San Francisco, and across the world. Derric, are you ready to take us to the top?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. Why not stick with poker? Why do social media? Poker seems like you make way more money.
So, yeah, that's kind of true. Technically, that is true right now based on where our agency is, but our agency will grow into a great company that can exist on its own, whereas poker is me personally trading time for money.
Yeah.
At the peak of online poker, I'd say around 2009, 2010.
How old were you then?
What's that?
How old were you at that point?
24.
Okay.
So 7 years ago, I'm 31 now. 24. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just about to get married. Holy crap. I was making mid 6 figures and working 3 hours a day.
Doing poker.
It was awesome. Yeah.
What was your biggest hand you ever won?
We have to talk the difference between like a cash game and a tournament. In cash, 40K pots happened a couple of times. That was crazy. In tournaments, I had a few 100K days in the mid 100K range. I don't think I actually crested 200K in a day, but I almost got there once.
And why are you so good at poker? What makes a good poker player?
So, unlike a lot of my colleagues in poker, I had a lot of great mentors. I would have flopped multiple times. There were close moments, but I had people that were better than me pull me through and coach me. That was super important. But my coaches and a lot of the people that are better than me at poker are just naturally 140 IQ plus people. They're geniuses. And I realized really quick that I was smart, but not as smart as them. And I started to kind of feel my own personal boundaries. I mean, we're talking about basically world-class chess is what I like to think about it as. There's a lot of similarities with enumeration and combinatorics. The difference is that chess, all of the pieces and positions, and in poker, there's hidden information, which brings in variables. And there's also variable outcomes because, the cards are basically dealt at random. So I realized that I was never going to be that grand master of chess. And there's a big problem with that because the best player at the poker table is the one that makes all the money. It's a logarithmic scale. It's like the best player makes, twice as much as the second best player, who makes twice as much as the third best player, and then everybody else doesn't make anything. They're all losers. And so you could be the cliche poker statement is, it doesn't matter how good you are if you're surrounded by 8 people that are better than you, then you're going to lose. And the fact is actually, if you're surrounded by 2 or 3 people at the poker table that are better than you, you're not going to make nearly as much money. So there's ceilings in poker that are really hard. You have to humble yourself and kind of realize you're not going to break through them.
So it's 2010, you're 24 years old, you're making 6 figures, about to get married. What do you pay yourself now, fast forward from the agency? Let's understand kind of what you gave up, right, to build this thing.
Oh, God. We didn't pay ourselves for the first year and a half at all.
What was year one?
Year one was 2014. And the company technically formed at the end of 2014, but we'd started doing work prior, and then we saw the agency as an opportunity in 2014. And then in 2000 and I always forget this. I think it was 2016, we got funding. So 2015, I was still, no, that can't be right. 2015, we got funding. 2015, we got funding, $50K from a poker friend of mine. Combined that with my poker bankroll, which I was still using to play poker. And so then I kind of withdrew the bankroll from poker. And
how much was that?
It was a little over 100K.
Okay.
And so basically 150 or so K in total. And the 100K goes directly towards, this is what we're going to live off of until we make our company work. And the 50K goes, this is what my business is going to be, investing in. And so that's where it went from there. So we didn't pay ourselves for a while because I'm foolish probably. And I kept saying, we're not focused on revenue. We're focused on learning. We're focused on finding the right opportunities and like some levels of growing an audience and a community. And
you might as well go eat some trail mix and follow your passion and go hike the Appalachian Mountain at the same time.
Yeah. Hey, it did work. It just, it worked because I was so far behind in knowing all the things I needed to know in business, and I learned really fast. So I was focused in learning. I literally spent half of that $50,000 on going to conferences and events around the United States. And now I can tell you, like when I went to that conference for the first time, like Social Media Marketing World, which I've gone for 3 years now. The first time I went, I was like, wow, this is amazing stuff. I'm going to go use this in my business. Now when I go, it's like, wow, that's amazing stuff. I knew that 6 months ago, and here's a better way to do it. And this is how it works and how it doesn't work. So it's like I can tell that my learnings, like that I now know what most people in the industry, most experts in the industry know, because when I hear them speak on stage, I know.
Sure. So, but back to the question. So last year, did you pay yourself anything or no?
Yeah, I think we started paying ourselves. So my wife and I are co-founders in this, and we pay each of ourselves $2,500 a month. So right now we make $5K a month. Our personal expenses are more than that. So at home, there's turmoil.
Yeah.
It's about to go up as we're now entering a spot where we can afford to pay ourselves more money and get to a more normalized salary. But
why don't you just decrease your expenses instead of increasing what you take from the company?
So we are trying to structure our company for growth and scalability, which is really hard as a services business. And that means like what I did, which I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm still figuring this out, but I'm learning as I go. We hired people, and right now we've got 2 great part-time employees.
Yeah, Derek, sorry, not business expenses. I meant your personal expenses. Yeah, you said there's turmoil at home. Why don't you just decrease your personal expenses so you can pay you and your co-founder like less?
Yeah. Well, do you want to take care of my son?
Well, okay, so what's the situation? You can look. By the way, you can still I meet so many parents with kids. They use their children as excuses of why. There is a limit, but it's such an easy excuse for parents. They say, "Well, Nathan, I can't take the risks you took because I have a kid." Bullshit. Like you can figure it out.
I'm taking big risks with that most parents wouldn't take.
What's a kid cost? Like what monthly expense?
$3K a month.
Okay.
$2,200 plus of it is just childcare.
Got it.
So that's $3K a month, and then we have rent, which is high, and then we eat.
Yeah.
And we've turned everything down. And you have to remember, I was living a very lavish lifestyle. I had a really nice car. We had 2 cars. We actually sold one now. And it was a Lexus RX 350, and then we have a Cadillac CTS. So like we weren't like. Yeah, we weren't super ballers with like Bentleys, which some of our friends have, but it's like we spent a lot of money. I have a really nice watch. Like we used to do a lot of bottle service back when I was making a lot of money.
Did you sell all that?
Yeah, we sold a lot of things. We changed a lot of things in our lives, and we went, and that was like a shell shock for us. I mean, the child was a shell shock because we were used to getting up at 2 p.m. and doing whatever we wanted with the day. Our child wakes us up at 6:30 a.m. and
you get up at 2 p.m.
Yeah. Because
you partied the whole night before.
Yeah, there's just certain hours that you'd want to play. And late nights are typically better in live situations. So it's like you have to basically stick around until 4 a.m. Like it's, only that's the live situation is that we're 2 days a week, and it'd be from about 11 a.m. till 4 a.m.
Yep.
And then the other days I either spend studying or playing video games.
Or sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the company. How many employees is the agency at now?
We're at 7, and that includes the 2 co-founders, and that includes 2 VAs in the Philippines.
Okay, and what do you what's the tell me what your average customer is. What do they look like?
Yeah, we're looking for 1 mil plus revenue. E-commerce and SaaS are a great niche, but it works in B2B and for lead generation and a lot of other things. But they have to be thought leaders in willingness to produce great content. Social media marketing is really about distributing great content and getting in front of the right people, and we're really good at that. We're good at repurposing great content, but we don't right now create the content. It really needs to come and be extracted from the company itself. So we're looking for partners that know how to, be experts in their industry, but are having a hard time getting that in front of the right audience.
And what did the agency do in 2016 revenue?
We were just about, I think, 70 or 80K was all we made. We weren't, the first half of the year, it was
that was top line or bottom line?
Top line.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how are you, what do we do in 2017?
Yeah, we're doing a lot better than that. You can actually go to vulpineinteractive.agency/transparency-report and see. So we actually publish our financials quarterly on our blog, and so we're shooting. Yeah,
we'll link to that in the show notes. But what are you shooting for?
So we're shooting for 100K monthly recurring revenue by December. I can tell you, based on what's going on right now, we're going to be shy of that. If we don't hit 50K monthly recurring revenue by December, we're gonna stop doing what we're doing.
Yeah. So, what are you at? What'd you do last month?
Last month was 15K, and this month we're really close to closing 2 or 3 more deals, which should put us really close to 30K.
Yep.
So it's like, all of a sudden it just grows.
What's the average contract size?
Right now it's probably closer to the 2K mark, but we're pushing this up. We're trying to move a little bit more upstream.
2K per month?
Yeah, 2K per month in kind of recurring retainer.
How many months is your minimum?
We start with a 3-month contract, and then it turns month to month after that. I've been advised on multiple different ways to do that. Personally, I'm in the field of saying, my job is to set expectations, and I would be okay with not even having a 3-month contract, just having a 1-month contract. We do need 30 days cancellation because we typically are planning things 30 days in advance. But the first few months are a struggle on social media, especially for new properties. But even for existing properties, to take something to the next level, it requires consistent publishing, getting in front of the right people, figuring out what's going to work and what's not going to work, and all of those things take time. And so, just getting your hands on a company account. You need to set the expectation with the client that this is a long-term investment.
Yeah.
Social media
but so Derric, but if you're setting that expectation, why only make it a 3-month minimum? I mean, that's actually very short for most of their agency owners I talk to.
Yeah, a lot of agencies are doing year contracts. The reason I do it is because, maybe because I'm foolish, because when I talk to other agency owners, they're like, well, if you have to hire somebody to fulfill roles, you need to know that contract is locked in for a year. So and I'm finding that to be a problem now as we're just now starting to scale.
The reason you probably do it is because you tell somebody, hey, it's a minimum is a year at 2K a pop, it's 24 grand. And they go, I don't want to pay for a year. And you go, okay, fine, I'll do 3 months. I mean, that's probably why you do it. So it's about how are you changing your sales techniques to get to try and convince people to do a year?
Yeah, I don't know if the thing is that I'm trying to think about what provides the best value to the client. And my job is to tell them what results to expect in the next 30 days, and then provide those results or tell them why I didn't. Mm-hmm. And so if I can't consistently deliver month over month, then I should be fired.
Well, why don't you just tell them, though? Why don't you just tell them the first 3 months you're not going to see any return? It actually takes 6 months to see anything.
Yeah, I do.
Well, then why isn't everyone signing a 6 month then?
But why do I need a 6-month contract then?
Because anything could happen on their business that you don't control that could make them cancel it before you've given any results. And then you're about to deliver results and they don't get it and then they cancel.
That's a great point.
Yeah. So like, how are you trying to solve this? This is like the key.
Finding the right clients and the right partners to work with. We've dabbled in bad partnerships and bad arrangements.
How many customers are you at right now?
14.
Okay.
That includes a couple pro bono stuff like Startup Week San Diego, and we did Interactive Day for San Diego and SD Inbound. But those are just great partnerships. They basically give us sponsorships in exchange for social media work. And
awesome.
We've gotten business off the back of that. So.
Many of you listening right now don't have time to listen to every B2B SaaS CEO that I've interviewed. If you want to get access to the database I've created with year-over-year growth rates, customer accounts, margins, and many, many other data metrics and data points, you can go to getlatka.com. Here's the thing, though. That database, I keep it to myself. It's so freaking valuable. And to preserve the quality of the data and make sure that the people that have access to it have a true advantage, I'm only letting 10 companies on each month. So we're full this month, but you can go to getlatka.com to get on the waiting list for next month. And look, there's big people on the waiting list. I mean, the biggest VCs you've ever heard of. You've probably heard of them. They're big, private equity, billions and billions under management. So it's an impressive waiting list. Go get on now at getlatka.com. One of the themes, guys, I have on this show is I have very successful people at selling information on. People like Amy Porterfield, people that have online membership courses. And many of you will direct message me and email me, and some of you even text me and said, Nathan, how do we do all this? How do we do the email marketing for a course? How do we handle the payment? How do we put the membership login on our website? How do we get the course information organized quickly and easily? Well, the tool that people are using, and a lot of people are using this, you can see at nathanlatka.com/course. That's nathanlatka.com/course. The trial is nice and free, which I love. If you're like me, I just want to log in, tinker around, figure it out myself, and then decide if I want to use it or not. So it's nathanlatka.com/course. This is the most straightforward way I've seen to launch your course. So you don't have to go buy 10 different pieces of software like email marketing plus payment plus a bunch of other stuff. It's all in one. The trial is totally free. nathanlatka.com/course. Go there now. I'll see you there.
Derric, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Oh, man. They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan is a mandatory read for anybody that believes they should be educating their market, or really everybody should be educating their market.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I follow Sujin Patel. I don't know if he's a CEO. He runs a lot of businesses. He's an interesting guy that I kind of model what I'm doing after. So I guess I'd say him.
Number 3, is there a favorite online tool you have, like HostGator?
So I'm really fond of a social giveaway contest platform called Q. It's QUEUE@at.com. It's phenomenal at viral advocacy, which is something that I'm a huge fan of.
Number 3, how many hours is there? 4. How many hours of sleep do you get every night?
8 to 9. Very important. You can't miss sleep.
And how old are you?
31.
31 with married with a kiddo, right?
Yeah.
All right. So take us back 11 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Everything I know now. Most specifically, I think as I knew I was going to be entering business, I wish that I'd have been able to pursue business earlier and give up poker earlier. I got a lot of phenomenal, great stuff out of poker that apply to business, but just diving into the business world would have gotten me a lot more.
There you guys have it from Derric, again, founder of his agency. He launched a couple years ago after his poker career. Now up to about 14 customers, paying on average $2K per month on average 3-month retainers. Last month did 15 grand in revenue. Last year their total revenue was about 70 grand. His goal is to build this to about 100 grand per month by December of this year. If not, he'll have to make some of those tough changes. They're currently at 7 people based out there in San Diego. Derric, thank you for taking us to the top.
Awesome, thank you.
If you enjoyed Derric today, go back and listen to Hal yesterday. Hal was at Microsoft and worked directly with the billionaire Bill Gates. So break down what Bill was like and why he ultimately decided to leave Microsoft to start his own thing.